Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Today is Monday, May 6th, and I hope everybody had a good weekend. We will go ahead and check in and see what all energies are wanting to come through for you for today from God, Spirit, the Divine. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we've got. All right, we have our Knight of Wands in reverse. We have our Nine of Swords in reverse, and then we have our Ace of Wands. So, with our Knight of Wands in reverse energy, this is like some of this anger and recklessness and some arrogance coming out. So there's some of that energy that's coming through for you. With our Nine of Swords in reverse, this is about trying to recover from that, though. Like you're trying to seek help. You're trying to have some new beginning that's wanting to come in. So there's some excitement, some creativity, like some new project maybe that you're working on or that you're getting excited about. So there is some of that good energy, but there's still some of this, I'll call it this anger out there, a little bit of recklessness. Like if there's something that's been holding you back from this new start that's trying to come in, or this new creative thing that you're working on, it's almost like you get to that point where, you're tired of the pieces not fitting together. You're tired of the vision not coming together the way you want it to. And it's creating some of this like anger and recklessness within you. So make sure to work on grounding, make sure to work on meditation, and what can you do to help move that energy out of your system so that it doesn't sit there and keep festering. Oops. So let's go ahead and jump into today's reading. We will start today with our air signs, which is going to be our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what all wants to come in for you. The Magician. So this is kind of piggybacking on what I was saying. This is all about how do you transform this energy into something more productive, more helpful in moving you forward. So this is going to be that energy of how do you transform that, like I said, there was that sense of like anger and recklessness that was coming through. We'll pull one more card for air signs to see what other advice Spirit has on that situation or what you need to know. The Hierophant in reverse. So it's about thinking outside of the box. And you may have been getting frustrated or angry about a certain situation because it just wasn't fitting into that box the way you wanted it to. The vision was not panning out how you intended for it to in your mind. So part of this Magician energy is breaking out of that mold. How do you transform that energy, and whatever this traditional thinking was, and that can be what's tied to this recklessness. How do you break free of that? How do you do something different, something that is true to you and what's in your alignment? And that can be part of that seeking help. Is how do you get this vision to come, or how do you get things to come into alignment, even though it's not the vision that you were hoping for? Goddess of creation, transformation, creativity, and wholeness. So there is something new and creative that wants to come through. Look at the feather duster there. There's something new and creative that wants to come through. You just have to break free from whatever this traditional structure is that lets you, or that's keeping you in that mindset of, wait, but this isn't going to work this way. All right, let's pull a moon card. A new start is coming. So you're working on transforming something, because this is the same colors as what's, in the streaks over here behind him. So something new is coming in, and it's just a matter of, I guess, working through some of these heavy, dense feelings like this anger and this recklessness, that the vision wasn't coming together the way you thought it was going to. But remember, sometimes it's not coming together the way you thought it was going to, because the universe has something better in mind for how this is going to look. So make sure that through all of this, even if you're frustrated, that you're having faith in God and in spirit, in the divine, in the universe, that they are putting things together in this wonderful way for you, even if you don't quite understand it. All right, tap into your creative side. So this is a really strong message today for air signs, that you really need to look at your creativity, because this Ace of Wands, this is about a new creative, exciting beginning. And we have this on creativity. We have Goddess of Creation coming through. We have the Magician, which is about, manifesting and transforming heavier situations. And then again, this message that a new start is coming. So you have a lot of good energy today, air signs. And even though I say today, so that's the energy as of today, that doesn't mean that, if you can't get it done by today, then tomorrow's going to be a different energy. So use this to plant the seeds. There's a Taurus new moon later this week. Actually, it's tomorrow. So yeah, because it's on the 7th. And new moons are all about planting seeds. What is it that you want more of in your life? And so really today, work on, what is that vision looking like? What is it that you want? What is it that you want? What is that vision? And really, really pulling it into focus so that you can work on planting those seeds and moving that vision forwards. All right, on to our fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Tower in reverse. You have something that you need to let go of that you're not wanting to let go of. And because you keep trying to hold up this tower, there's this anger and this recklessness that's associated with it. So remember, the Tower in reverse is about like clinging to the past and not wanting to let change come in. And it's really, it's causing a lot of these low vibe feelings, because it's like you have this thought of, I've always done it this way. I've always done it this way, so therefore I need to keep always doing it this way. And that's not the case. There is good energy here with that 9 of Swords in reverse, that you're seeking help and you're moving on from this tower situation. And with that, it's not that you're seeking help to prop up the tower, you're seeking help to let that tower happen. And on the other side of that, you're going to see some of that exciting new beginning, some of that creativity. I'm looking at the color of the wands. So what else do our fire signs need to know about this Tower in reverse situation? 2 of Swords. It's that you have a decision to make that you don't want to make. And with this, she's blindfolded in this. And it's almost like with your 2 of Swords energy, it's almost like, you have this sense of denial and like these split decisions, like, nope, I don't even want to consider something, and with the fact that she's blindfolded, she's not clearly looking at it. It's a difficult choice, but especially in this card, it's interesting because she's actually looking one direction. And the direction she's looking at is the fork. It's the fork in the road. And usually in those cards, the person's blindfolded and they're sitting there like this. So they're over their chest, and, the 2 swords are over their chest and they're looking straight ahead. But this way, it's almost like you're looking in one direction and blindfolded, like, I don't want to see, I don't want to see, this is a difficult choice, I don't want to see. And so most likely you've been on this course for a while and you continue to prop up something that's just not working. But that's what needs to go, because when you look at the Ace of Wands, this new beginning that wants to come, that's going to come in the wake of the tower falling. Because remember, that's like a destined and fated thing, like the tower comes in to kind of level set things. All right. Attachment, letting go, restriction, and fear. So there's an attachment to whatever this situation is, whatever this tower is that you're holding on to. And since that does have that energy of like clinging to the past and not wanting to learn from your mistakes and this fear of taking the next step forward, that's the attachment that you need to be letting go of. And with your 9 of Swords in reverse, that moving on and letting go, that's really related to how do you break free from these attachments? How do you cut some of those away so that you can live in energy that feels in alignment with you? And conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So whatever this is, whatever this structure is that you keep propping up, that's leaving you feeling this sense of like anger and recklessness, that is going to be ending. So the conclusion to that cycle is within reach. But remember, when it says it's within reach, that means you have the ability to make that situation end. It doesn't say the universe is ending this for you. Twiddle your thumbs for the next, couple weeks. It's they're within reach if you choose to go down that path. You have two paths here. You can go this way, you can go that way. If you keep pretending you can only go one way, then you're just going to keep looping. But the conclusion is within reach if you pick the other path. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. And things are not as bad as they seem. So if you've been turning a blind eye to one of these options, it's because there's this fear that's laced in there of, yeah, but if I choose that, a disaster beyond imagination will occur. Sorry, from Phantom of the Opera. It's really not as bad as what you think it is. It's like you've been building it up in your mind that it's such a huge thing, because I think there's some fear in there that if you say, hey, it's really not going to be that bad, and you go down that path and it's not that bad and it turns out better than you thought, then there's those feelings of guilt and regret and, why didn't I do this sooner? I'm an idiot. So it's almost like it's going to expose the fact that I could have done this a long time ago and I wasn't ready. But you weren't ready because you weren't ready. You needed to get to a point of being ready, and now you're ready. All right, let's pull a timing card on, it says conclusions are within reach, and like with this tower. So what is the timing here for this making the decision and that tower? After the tower. So, okay, not really very helpful there, but this is really pointing to the fact that this tower needs to happen. And I think because you have some attachments and the conclusions are within reach, and it's, up to you to allow that to come through, it's after you're strong enough to allow that tower to happen. All right, now we are on to our earth signs. And that is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see what messages want to come through for you for today. All right. Temperance in reverse. So this is about there's imbalances that are showing up here. And that's what's leaving you with that sense of anger and recklessness. Let's pull one more card about what is this. What do our earth signs need to know about this situation? Four of Cups in reverse. So your Four of Cups in reverse, this is the self-awareness and sadness, like accepting what can't change. So if things are what isn't going to change. So if things are out of balance, it's not because the other person had a bad day. That's not why things are out of balance. There's structurally and fundamentally an imbalance in this situation. So energetically there's an imbalance, and it takes a certain level of acceptance to say, you know what, it's things just aren't what I want them to be. And so then there's that sense of like moving on so that a new fresh start can come in, something new and exciting that's going to reignite your soul. Amethyst, transformation, certainty, and confidence. So this is about letting those transformations come in. So life is always evolving and things are always changing. So allowing those changes to come in, and how do you usher in different phases of your life is all about some of that learning lesson. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. This is a matter of if situations need to change, and like accepting what can't change and moving on. Don't let pride keep you in a place that you don't want to be, don't let it keep you in a place where you're not supposed to be, because you're worried about, well, what will people think? And this was no one cares, quit your whining. And this was, I was saying this with the fire signs as well, that kind of this whole thing of like, sometimes it's scary to make a change, because then if it turns out better than you thought, there's almost that element laced in there of, well, why didn't I make that change earlier? What are people going to think? And this, that no one cares, quit your whining, is kind of two messages here. For one, don't let pride get in your way, because nobody really cares. Like, from the perspective of, people think, oh my gosh, well, if I do this, everybody's going to talk, everybody's going to make this big deal out of it. Are they really? Or is that just what you tell yourself so that you don't have to make decisions that feel uncomfortable for you? Because, how many situations do you have where a friend or acquaintance or whatever made a decision and you're still shaking your head like 2 years later going, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. Oh my gosh. Most people don't. Like, it might be, oh, they did that. Okay. So it might be a little bit of a disruption, but why are you living out an unhappy scenario every day because you're worried what somebody might think for 5 minutes about you? And this whole thing of when I put this card in here, when I made this card, that no one cares, quit your whining, it was kind of that whole thing of, if things are bad, stop just saying that they're bad and do something about it. And some of that do something about it is either change your mindset to where you're okay with it, or stop telling everybody how bad it is, because it really can't be that bad if you're not willing to do anything about it. So that sort of thing. And then thank you for the lesson. So sometimes if there's a situation that needs to change, there was a lesson there, and thank the person, thank the universe, thank the situation for the learning and for the lesson, and then move on from it. So that's that card about moving on. Like, we're here to learn lessons, not to stew in them, not to dwell in them. So that is the message for earth signs. And lastly, we have got our water signs, which is going to be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Let's see what you've got for your energy for today. We have the Hierophant in reverse. So this is about breaking free from traditional structures. If there's something where you're having this feeling of like anger and recklessness, and it could be that the confines of this traditional structure are making you crazy. And so you need to figure out how to move past that, which we do have this energy, this moving on energy. So it's like moving on from these traditional structures. And let's pull one other card for water signs as well and see what else you need to know about the situation. The Fool in reverse. So some of this is about, you have a fear of taking the next step. You have a fear of taking that leap forward. But that's really what you're being pushed to do is, think outside of the box. And how can you do something a little bit different and, let that new exciting energy come in. Liberation, breaking free from a negative attachment. So exactly, this is about breaking free from this traditional structure that's keeping you in this energy, like this angry energy. I just get this vision of like a caged animal, like a big gorilla or something, like grabbing onto the bars and shaking it, like just wanting to get out of those confines. Oops. And there was a lot. Okay. So that one is a personal issue reaches conclusion. Let's see what this one was. A win-win outcome is forecast. So it could be that, you've been staying in a certain situation because you're worried, like, if I make a change, am I going to be the one that loses? Like, how's this going to affect everybody? The card I pulled is surrender to the divine. So this, life doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. It's not, oh, well, there can be only one winner. So if you win, that means I lose. There could be a way to break free of that traditional structure, think outside the box, and take a brave leap forward that is good for everybody in the situation. Call in your spirit team to help you. So especially, you know, these colors are kind of all going together here. Work on asking your guides for help, asking your higher self for help, and really trying to lean on your spirit team and connecting in with your soul tribe as well. And you feel a different peace and resonance when you're connected in with spirit, and really rely on that and listen to those whispers that are coming in for you as you navigate having a possibly a big decision to make, or, you know, changing of direction. So hopefully you found today's message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest. And I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.